Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy James, and this is a dad's thing. Welcome to vlog number 44. Um, that's a real popular number in the Simmons household. That is my oldest daughter's jersey number. So glad to be with you on vlog 44 of 50 vlogs in 50 days, working up to my 50th birthday. Thank you as always. Appreciate all the support. And for my first time visitors, thank you for stopping by, checking out the channel, checking out this series, and everything else that we have on the Dad's Thing. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay connected to the channel. As you can see, I'm in the vehicle today. I just got done about 25 minutes ago. I went for a run while my daughter's practicing. And then I came in the car and just kind of sat here for a little bit. And I'm really glad that I did because I wasn't in too great of space over the last couple of hours. And I took some time. I sat in here, just scrolled and watched some funny stuff to get me in a better mood. Laughing at some things that I saw online, and I mean, I'm laughing, got tears coming out of my eyes, and that's a good thing. But definitely didn't start there to get the night going at all. And it started having a great day today, productive at work, great conversation with my supervisor, just talking about, the future and how I play a part in different things. Just great conversation. Got things done. Went to pick up my girls, got them, and then was on our way home. And as I was going home, I went to pull into our underground parking, and on the side of the street, it's marked off where you can park and where you can't park. And there was this van right in front of the entranceway. And it's parked in a red zone. So it makes it very difficult, if not nearly impossible, for vehicles to enter into the garage. So I'm waiting and looking because I see the door open. And it was obvious that someone was there providing a service, doing some cleaning through the van. But at this point, I'm not sure if that individual is leaving or going. So I'm looking around, and then the girl is kind of pointing up, on a second level, that there was someone with some hoses and things like that. So I kind of look up and, kind of honk the horn to get their attention. And I tell you, dude looked at me and told me to go around. You can get around. And that just set me off. And it might be a little thing, but it was his level of inconsideration, his level of entitlement that what he was doing was much more important than me having to get to my next meeting that I had at home, me getting my girls into our home, and not having to drive around and park, having access to my parking space. And it just was really, really rude. And it ticked me off, and I'm using the nice word, but I was not happy at all. And I definitely let him know. I'm like, there's no need for you to be so rude. There's no need for you to be so inconsiderate. If you wanted to come out and help get me in or whatever it was, or do whatever you had to do, it could have been a different way to do it. Obviously, I see you working, and I said, listen, man, I appreciate that you're trying to get some work done, but I got to get some work done too. And I'm on a tight schedule. Not that you need to know that, but you're putting me out of the way. And you could have handled the situation a lot better. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, to block you in. Can I help you maneuver or get around? I know it might be a little bit tight. That's what I would have done if I'm at someone's home, blocking their access to their space. So I wasn't happy. But as I was thinking about it, to me, it's much more than that incident. And I can go back and say, there's been quite a few people who've been doing the same thing. They make it very difficult for us to get out. So much so that someone had to call the police, and have them get tickets written on their cars to let them know that they can't do it. And when I see it, I always say, hey, it's tight around here and parking is concerned. I'm not going to be, that bad neighbor. I'm not going to be that jerk. Give you one opportunity. If you continue to do it, then we're going to have to do something about that. But if it's a one-off, I get it. I totally, totally get it. But I could say that it's been just building up, but I know that ain't the case. And then as I think a little bit deeper about, what's going on, I've been talking a lot about, just kind of the state of affairs of where we are right now, in this country that we live in, the U.S. And a lot of the entitlement that people walk around with in power, like they own everything. They want to conquer different lands and take over. And, for me, and I said it today, I had a conversation at lunch with an elder. And I really wanted to just ask her, like, compared to back in the day when you were coming up, she's probably have about 20 years on me. So just putting that into a little context. And I said, is it better? Is it worse back then or is it worse today? And I don't think I was really ready for the answer that she was going to give me. Because based off of what I know and what I've seen, I don't know if I'd want to live back in the day of when she was coming up, or when my mother was coming up and father was coming up. And definitely not the day when my grandmother was coming up. And my grandmother, she passed away at the ripe old age of 104 in 2013. So she had a long life, and my grandmother couldn't vote. And I was here with my great grandmother. My great grandmother passed away in 1997 at the age of 101. So she was born in 1897. She couldn't vote. She had children. And for y'all who are listening, you know what I mean when I say children. You know what I mean? She took care of white kids and had pictures of those white kids at our house, well past the time that she stopped caring for those kids. So I know that times was tough. The struggle, the fight was real. Having dogs sicked on you, water hose, with pressure that, will rip your skin off, sprayed at you. Tough times. But I also know today, what we've had to endure, as black people. And, I look at myself as a young black man growing up in the inner cities with, a life expectancy back in, the late 70s, early 80s of living till I'm 18, right? So that's tough, and we're talking about gunshots and things of that nature. But I just got to thinking, it's like, wow, it's worse now than it was back then. And I don't know if I was ready to hear that, with all of the, and I gotta say, all of the I mean, I guess it's all relative, and it's confusing. And I don't know what to say right now. And that was kind of, me listening to her and trying to figure out what needs to be done, what's my part to play in the advancement of humanity so that there is, an equal playing field for everybody. And that's, what I'm really trying to figure out. And it to me, you know, she definitely encouraged me, because we can't see our own ears, you know, and that's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who are real and honest with you, because they can give you that feedback that you need. And I'm so glad I took the time with her, because she really reminded me of different places and spaces that I'm in, that I can have impact. But I know, and I think this is where that frustration and that anger, that blowing a little bit of a gasket today, and it was controlled. You know, I didn't go berserk, but I did want him to know that I didn't appreciate his act. But I think that's where this comes from. There's just this little bit of frustration. There's just this little bit of like this hypocrisy that we see day in and day out. It's like it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And it just keep pounding and pounding and pounding. Yeah. Yeah. So, man, I guess I say all of that to say, take care of yourself, you know, with all the stuff that's going on. Laugh. My goodness. Like I said, I needed to laugh just now. And I got some laughter. And it really helped shift my mood. But also be aware, right? Be aware of where you at. Continue to take your pulse, your temperature, because you don't want that pulse to be racing. You don't want that temperature to be too hot, because that's when bad things can happen. You act out on something because you've had enough. Your health takes a turn because of the stress that you feel, and that's just weighing on your body. So I just want to say that, just to remind us all in this day that we're in, you know, take care of yourself. Be honest. And that's something that, you know, I definitely have been talking about throughout this series, is being my authentic self. Every day isn't cakes, rainbows, sun, and all of that type of stuff. There are days that are hard. Today was a mixture, but I definitely had a moment where it was hard. And I had to have a conversation with my daughters, because they had to see this. And I don't like that, although there is the need to understand, that you have to take up for yourself. But I don't ever want to put my kids in a situation where they're fearful, which they weren't, in danger. And I can say they weren't, but people are acting crazy over the littlest of things. So I need to always be mindful of that. I don't want to put them in danger, harm's way, ever. So yeah, just a reminder to self, and just a reminder to us all, that we need to take care. So, as always, God bless, take care, be good, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.